Right, so here we are for another Beyond the Basics class. We are very happy to be here connected. Nana, lovely to have you with us again for another week. And this week we'll be talking on, actually, this is one of my favorite lessons because there are people in our family called children and babies who are so important. And we want to talk about how we can help them in their development. So let's jump right in. I'll be sharing my screen with all of you. Here we go. And I'm just going to put that here. Let's have a look. Here we go. Okay. So Beyond the Basics, here we are on another week. My name's Caroline Giraldo. I am there on the slide, and we also have other members of our team, including my parents. On the right, Candida and Clara. We've got a leader in Israel, Lorena Silveira, and Cindy in Colombia. And there are many other leaders, including Edna, Salea. We have wonderful people, really. I really thank God for the great team he's given us, and that we're all passionate to seek for solutions, heavenly solutions for our health. So this is an 8-class series. Here are the subjects. We are in week number 5, so we're just past halfway. And you can see here that if you haven't catched up with any of the lessons, they are recorded, but we are doing them live. We try to keep to the time as much as possible, weekly at 2 p.m. Eastern time and 7 p.m. UK time and 9 p.m. Israel time. So this week we are doing Healthy, Happy Kids. Just before we drop into that, there is an important fact here is that there is a certificate that you can earn. And how can you do that? Well, here you have it on the right. You listen to the 3 keywords we give during this lesson. You take note of them. You fill out the weekly form, and you complete the 8 topics. So you do the same process for the 8 topics to receive a certificate like the one on screen that says you have successfully completed the 8 weeks Beyond the Basics continuing education, essential oil education. Wonderful. So let's get into subject Healthy and Happy Kids. Now, before we start, your first word is stronger. Stronger. We'll see why later. So the word is stronger. Okay, let's start with kids. Now, kids are facing modern day challenges that we perhaps didn't face when we were children. They live in a fast-paced, high-stressed world. They have a lot of time on digital devices, whether it's cell phones, iPads, laptops. They are faced with instant food, sometimes because parents spend long time at work. They can only get a delivery, so children end up eating much more fast food and therefore have poor nutrition. Many have poor sleeping habits. They go to bed very late, again, either because of their parents' work schedules or because of the time they spend on devices. They spend less time in nature. Less time because most children and most of the world's population live in big cities where we don't have that much easy access to big parks, right? And because we live in big cities, then we're also exposed to toxins and pollutants. So there is an emotional trauma that is related to all of this. There is a lot of challenges. Sleep and food are 2 main ingredients to good, healthy lifestyle. So there is a lot of pressure. And without mentioning, children are facing nowadays a lot of bullying at school, right? Or high levels of homework. So it's not easy. It's not easy to be a kid nowadays. Now, let's look at some statistics. According to 2010 Medco Drug Trend Report, children who are covered by health insurance are the drug industry's fastest growing market. In fact, from 2001 to 2010, the growth in children's prescription drug use rose at a rate 4 times higher than the rise in the overall population. As it says on the slide, 1 in 4 children, this is very, very sad, but it's the reality. They take medications on a regular basis for ongoing health conditions. And we're talking about children between the ages of just 2 and 5. They're the fastest growing market in antipsychotics. I was shocked when I heard these statistics, and I thought, I can't believe these children who you could say are just starting out in life already are put on so much medication. And we're talking about issues like type 2 diabetes, hypertension, and asthma. Now, a separate study in 2013 found that children between the ages of 2 and 5, as I said, so I've read that already, are the fastest growing market for antipsychotics. Now, the important thing to note is, well, it's good that there is medicine to help these children, but the issue is that pharmaceuticals come with side effects. So that is the danger. So, well, sometimes these medications are necessary and they're important. There are natural ways that we can help our children. And this is the important thing about this lesson today, for you to learn how you can help. And maybe you might not have young children, but you have nephews, nieces, or even children that you share with in your community or in your church, and be able to have solutions to help them out and to give them the best chance of being healthy, but also empowering them with ways to manage their emotions and the bumps that come along the road as they grow up. So here are some tips. They're on the slide, but you can take note of them too. Limit screen time. I heard a mum the other day, we just had a conference at our local church, who said, I only give my children 1 hour a day of screen time. That's as much as they can get. And she's bringing up 5 children. So she's doing an amazing job. And that's what she said. She says just 1 hour a day. Now, it sounds very little, but what are you increasing? You're increasing quality time, increase the opportunity for them to get fresh air, for them to do things creatively, for them to share with other children and not just get immersed into their own world. So it's 1 hour a day in the case of this mother of using digital devices. I've heard of other parents who use the parental controls in the devices so that the devices turn off and will not be able to be used for longer than the time you set it. So they have their timetable, they do homeschool, so their devices can only be switched on after 1 o'clock in the afternoon because they do their homeschool in the morning, and it's only active until about 3 or 4 in the afternoon. So they choose how much at what time within that period, but they won't be able to use it outside of those hours. So there are tools at our disposal. And now the other thing is create a safe space. So on the internet, children can be exposed to pornography very easily. Be careful with the content that they see, implement the parental controls, and make sure that you perhaps maybe even sit with them when you're seeing some movies or films with them and help them to take care of their emotions and their minds. More outdoor play, consistent bedtime. Children, it's so important for them to follow a routine. Quality nutrition. I would say that nowadays, although there is a lot of fast food, there are a lot of natural options. When you go through the supermarket, you can find snacks. Actually, I have one here. My brother just brought me. These are snacks, and these are just nuts. So it's a way with very little sugar. We want to bring down the level of sugar in the snacks that children eat. Yeah. And how important it is, this penultimate point, connection and touch. The connection and touch that you have with children, especially from the age of 1 to 5, is so important for them to then, when they grow up, become confident in themselves. So I heard once a statistic that said for a human being to be healthy emotionally, they need 8 hugs a day. 8 hugs a day. How many hugs are your children getting? Or remember, when you give a hug, you receive a hug. So that is that both people are benefited. And conversation. Well, we see here a picture of children probably in the ages of 11, 12. Conversation is so important. Sit down, talk without any devices. I've heard of other families that say no devices allowed on the dinner table, and that's the time to have quality conversation. So we can go in and look now at dōTERRA. How can dōTERRA be a blessing to families who want healthy and happy kids? And that's what we're going to explore today, that dōTERRA has actually developed a specific line of essential oils for children. Now, there's an important thing here about safety. Yes, essential oils are safe for kids, and we're going to look at the different age ranges, but even children that have just been born, it's safe, but it's important to follow the guidelines. We have to remember there's effective use of essential oils for thousands of years, so it's nothing new in reality. There is a natural and safe way to use them when you do it properly, and we can have the confidence that dōTERRA has tested every batch of essential oils it produces, and they have safety processes in place. So I know that with dōTERRA, you and I get the best quality there is on the market. No comparison. No one gets closer to dōTERRA in its quality. So we can have that confidence when we apply the oils to children. Now, this is an important chart, doses and dilution. So we have here different uses of the oils. Aromatic, it just means inhaled. Of course, there isn't any limit to that. You can use the diffusers in their rooms, in the home. Then we have internal use. So this is taken internally, right? For an adult, the ideal amount per dosage is 2 to 4 drops. And in a 24-hour period, an adult can take up to 24 drops. I've taken more. Nothing's happened with that when I've got a cold. I really ramp up the use of it and it's fine. But here is a guideline. With children, we want a dosage of 1 to 2 drops. And in a 24-hour period, we want to get up to 12 drops maximum. Of course, their bodies are smaller, their organs are developing, they're growing. So essential oils for them are much more condensed, or perhaps the word is concentrated, than for an adult. Here we also have oral use. So that is directly in the mouth, not advised for children, and dermal is on the skin, so we can see there also the proportion as well. Now, how do we apply them? Here are some more guidelines. Avoid sensitive areas, of course, the eyes, the skin around the eyes. I wouldn't advise, and of course, we always say never apply or use oils directly into the eyes, the ears, the nose, right? Any orifices in the body. Avoid certain oils of a broken or damaged skin. And here we have inner nose and ears as well. Remember sunlight sensitivity, especially with citrus oils. So we want to avoid sunlight or UV rays for up to 12 hours after applying a product with sunlight sensitivity warning. Safe storage, this is important. dōTERRA, because it's a product massively produced, it needs to have a sell-by date or a expiry date on its bottles, but actually essential oils don't really go bad. The important thing is to keep them out of the sunlight. That's why you see dōTERRA's oils always come in these kind of bottles that are tinted, right? So you want to keep it out of direct sunlight. I, for example, have one oil in my car and I avoid to have it at the exposed in the sunlight. I have it more like in one of the drawers, and we also want to avoid leaving them unopened, opened up, because then they evaporate, right? It's important to say consult with your child's doctor before using essential oils if they have any health concerns. All right, so let's have a look here. What can dōTERRA offer us as for our children specifically? Okay, right, pre-diluted touch line. So you may have been familiarized. We have certain amount of oils that come in roll-ons. And if you notice here at the top left area of each roll-on, we have a word called touch. That's what it's called, the touch line. So what is this line about? We see here, they are pre-diluted with fractionated coconut oil. We know that doTERRA produces its own fractionated coconut oil, so it's of the best value, and it already comes pre-diluted. So it's ideal because it protects sensitive skins. And they've only done this for the top 9 oils. So we have here Brie, Deep Blue, Digescem, which is great for the digestive system, frankincense, lavender. So you can have these and carry them with you, open up the top. You don't have to dilute anything, and you can directly apply to the skin of your children because they are already diluted. And they're great. For example, lavender will infuse a very lovely calming sense. Yes, Deep Blue is great for burns and bruises and whenever they fall over. And oregano is great for viral infections, so you can apply that to the throat or to the stomach. Peppermint is great for headaches or nausea when they're traveling. So this line is amazing. It's really good, very practical. Now here we have the doTERRA Kids Oil Collection. Now, as soon as this came out in Colombia, this was my gift to my nephews. I have a 4-year-old niece and a 2-year-old nephew, and they absolutely love these. They're in a beautiful color. You can see them here. And they're actually the equivalent of the adult version. So we're going to look into which of these are for what purposes. They come in this beautiful bag with these plastic tops so that they can add them to each oil, and then they've got these hooks for them to put and hook them onto their backpacks. And it comes with a lovely set of cards in very understandable language for them to look and see, right, what can I use these oils for? And they're in the same principle as the touch line. They're roll-ons. They come pre-diluted as well with coconut oil. And they've divided them into 3 sections: mind, body, and heart. We know that we have 3 areas in our as human beings, and we want to care for the mind, the body, and the emotions, or the heart. Okay, so let's look at the mind section first. So sometimes something that seems really prevalent these days is constant distraction and the inability to focus. And here we have Thinker on the left. This is an amazing oil, and I've heard so many testimonies of hyperactive children. They can't concentrate in the classroom, even as we come out of a pandemic, how many hours they had to be on Zoom, you know. So Thinker is the perfect go-to when it's time to pay attention and concentrate. You can roll it on the back of the neck. They can smell it. It's great for them to use even during study time at home. And you can also consider diffusing it with Motivate in a diffuser, or basil, as we learned in our first week. Basil, rosemary, peppermint are great oils for concentration. Now, we talked how important it is for children to have good sleep. So here on the right, oh, by the way, Thinker here on the left is the children's equivalent of Intune. So there is, sorry, the adult's equivalent. There is a similar oil for adults. If you're thinking, oh, I would like one of those. Okay, you can go for the Intune mixture. Here on the right, we've got Calmer. So you might have heard of Serenity or Lavender when you use it for sleeping. Well, this is the children's equivalent. It's called Calmer. It's restful, it's calming, it's relaxing, and it's great for you to apply on the bottom of their feet, their chest, allow them to smell it. And you can also use other oils to diffuse. Of course, because these are roll-ons, you can't pour this oil into the diffuser because it has a metal top. So you want to use your other oils that come with droppers. And for example, put a couple of drops of lavender, peace, or serenity in the diffuser and use this one topically. You can use even Calmer when a child is restless or feels stressed. You can put it on their wrists at the end of a day to diminish worry and to quiet restlessness. Now we go on to the body. Right, so the body we have here, Stronger. That was our first keyword for today, wasn't it? Stronger is basically the kids' version of On Guard. Many of us have heard On Guard, have used it during this pandemic so much. It's been a lifesaver because it helps you to build your immune system. It's the protective blend. So this On Guard has rose in it. Rose is more powerful even than oregano when preventing and combating germs in the body. So it's our kids' protection blend. It can also promote feelings of wellness, vitality, even comfort when you have occasional skin irritations, and it can soothe the emotions during times of distress. When a child's stomach, moving into the next one here in the middle, when a child's stomach doesn't quite agree with them, they are feeling a bit nauseous. How many times has that happened, right? Or children are outright vomiting and something's really not going well, then Tamer is the equivalent of the Zengest or Digest Zen. It helps with motion sickness as well, and it's soothing to a tummy massage. So we can put that around their stomach as well. Now, we talked about children, how important it is for them to be out in nature, to run, to exercise. Well, sometimes that can result in growing pains. I remember when I was in 8, 9, 10 years old, I had lots of growing pains. It's a constant pain in your knees, your legs. And how much would I have loved to have Rescuer? This last blend on the screen is the equivalent of Deep Blue. It relieves tension, soothes the muscles, and is very cooling. So it's great, or whether you have a boy or a girl who's going to sports practice and comes back aching and hurting, then you can rub some of this Rescuer blend on them. And the last category is heart. So children have a lot of emotions, right? School is a very important time in their lives, but they can go through moments of fear, moments of feeling bullied, perhaps of failure. They've failed a test one day, they come back home, or you can send them away to school with this oil, Brave. Brave is the courage blend. It's energizing, invigorating. It infuses confidence and courage. So it's important also, use positive affirmations over your children. Tell them how important and clever they are. I'll just make a quick parenthesis here on the story of Albert Einstein. Don't know how many have heard the story of his mother. Well, the story goes that Albert Einstein's teacher wrote a note to his mother saying, your child has mental retardation. We encourage you to put them in another school. He doesn't pay attention in class, and he's basically saying that he was stupid. And his mother received this letter. Obviously, Albert Einstein brought it back from school with him and gave it to his mother. And when his mother read it out to Albert Einstein, she completely transformed it into positive affirmations and told him, Albert, your professors and your teachers say you are too intelligent. I'm going to have to put you into another school because you're doing so well. And Albert Einstein never discovered the truth of this letter until he was much older. But we see the result of these positive affirmations, what his mother declared about him became true, right? Albert Einstein was a genius, but his teachers never saw that in him, but his mother did. So how important it is to give positive affirmation. And here we have steady. Now, steady is the equivalent of balance. Oh, balance is a very grounding oil, and steady. I even know, I can tell you, my mum loves this oil. She bought it for herself because it's got a very fresh, lovely scent to it. It's calm. It helps you balance. It helps you feel relaxed. So, and you can apply this in the wrists of your children, bottom of their feet, and even over their heart. It evokes this calming sense. And here we have our second word. Our second word is calmer. Calmer. Very good. Now, it's no secret that children can be picky. You can see the face of this little girl kind of saying, Mummy, I don't like what you've just served me. And when your child is particular when it comes to tastes, smells, or even their routines, sometimes it can be difficult for them to enjoy the benefits of essential oils. And they say, obviously, their scent is much more sensitive than ours. Oh, mummy, I don't like that oil. That smells weird. Oh, that's weird, right? So there are a few fun ways we want to give you for them to enjoy essential oils. Why not cook with them? Why not add them into smoothies, baked goods, oatmeal, like On Guard, just a couple of drops, which has cinnamon and clove in it, sauces in the hummus, or even with honey. You can add them to their favorite foods. I heard of a recipe here that we've got, which is the On Guard apples. I love this. I love to cut up apples into slices, cover them with cool water. You can get a bowl, cover them with filtered cool water, and literally you just need 1 or 2 drops of On Guard. That's all. And what will happen is the apples will soak the water with the essential oil. And once you take out the apple and eat it, I'm telling you, the taste is wonderful. It is so delicious. And what it allows is that the oil would be diluted at a less concentration so that children can ingest it. And that's how we start to see how their immune system starts to get stronger. Another way is to do DIY with them. Get your children to be creative. Yes, with essential oil projects at home. You can use essential oils for crafts to create aromatic jewelry. We have here soaps, bath fizzies, rollerballs, and you can find all of these recipes online. Play-Doh, crafts, aromatic jewelry, and they can then drop the oils into edible plastiline or plasticine that is safe for children, and enjoy the essential oils with the ability for them to be creative. dōTERRA has also created this workbook for children. So this Science for Kids workbook will tell them, where do oils come from? Why do they smell like that? They give them fun experiments. There's coloring pages in it. There's puzzles. And you can actually download this. If you don't live in the United States, where probably you could get a printed version, then you can get it online for free from dōTERRA.com, which is the USA homepage, and print it yourself. Print it yourself and get your children to get involved. Now, in previous calls, we've talked about the importance of foundational nutrition. We've talked so much about the Lifelong Vitality Pack. For me, it changed my life, so I love to talk about it. But the good news is that we have foundational nutrition for children. So children should not be taking the adult supplements without consulting a healthcare professional. So that's why dōTERRA has created kid-friendly versions for them. They taste great and they can be good for adults who can't swallow pills, because as you can see, there are 2 liquid versions and a powdered one. So let's have a look into them. We've got here the A to Z chewables here on the left. So they're for children's 4 years and over. I've actually given them to my niece when she was under 4 years, and great still. The only thing I did was just to crush the capsules, because they were the tablets, they were a bit big, but you can crush them. They have a watermelon flavor, very nice. Superfood blends, and we've got vitamins A, C, E, B, calcium, magnesium, zinc, copper, and manganese as well. So remember that dōTERRA's mixtures are the natural versions of the vitamins in a way that they would be quickly absorbed by the body. Here on the right, we've got IQ Omega, which promotes and supports cardiovascular health, healthy joints, immune system. It's an antioxidant. It helps with brain function, healthy skin, eyes, and nervous system. So they've put a fresh orange flavor of wild orange. You can see that on the bottle. It tastes amazing. You have to refrigerate this after opening it. It provides 1,300 milligrams of concentrated omega-3 fatty acids. Now, if you didn't know, omega-3 fatty acids are key for muscles, brain. Brain is one of the fattiest organs in our body. So it contributes to DHA and EPA to help support healthy brain, cardiovascular, as we've just said, immune system, and joint function. So both of these are supplements. And by the way, I think I can say it here, they can be added to the purchase of the Lifelong Vitality Pack at a discount. So You get your supplements, your kids get their supplements, and you save money. Isn't that great? Now, gut health. Now, next week, we're going to learn a bit more about gut health for adults, but kids are also needing gut health so much. So we know that our gut is like our second brain in our system. So here we have a probiotic. They're very important for gut health. And this is a powdered probiotic. You can see it there. Now, when I gave this to my niece and nephew, they absolutely loved it. For them, it was a sweet because it's got this watermelon taste. It has, as you can see it there, the packet, it's natural strawberry melon flavor. And they absolutely loved it because it tasted like sugar and it makes noise. But it actually includes 5 billion live cells of a unique blend of 6 different probiotic strains, specifically selected for their benefits among children. These probiotics have blended into them the delicious powder that can be poured directly into the mouth, or they can be put into liquid as well and diluted. So let's look into pregnancy. Now, essential oils are great for pregnancy. And here I'm going to add my own testimonies because I am 3.5 months pregnant. And I had given this class quite a lot of times, but this is the first time I'll be able to add my own testimonies. And I can tell you, I am so grateful for the oils. You can dilute them for topical use. So they're great for stretch marks. I'm using the oils every single day and applying them over my tummy to avoid stretch marks. They're great for emotional support. So as pregnant women, I can tell you it's a roller coaster. Sometimes you feel great, other days you don't. But I love to wear Elevation as a perfume and it really uplifts my mood. You can also use it during labor and for your baby, but also make sure to speak to your doctor. Okay, so let's look at the solutions that dōTERRA offers. So when we see here that we've got stomach upset. Now, this was something, one of the first symptoms that you have when you're pregnant is nauseas or vomiting. Well, I can tell you, sorry. I can tell you that since I got pregnant, I haven't vomited one single time. I'm amazed because that's one of the hardest symptoms to deal with when you're pregnant. I was speaking to someone yesterday who told me she had to put bags in the car at home in every drawer so that whenever she felt pregnant, whenever she had to vomit, she would take out the bag. And to my surprise, I've been using peppermint in my water every time, and you've got to be hydrating yourself all the time when you're pregnant. I always make sure I've got a couple of drops, either of peppermint or Zengest, which we don't have here, or Digest Zen as it's called in the US, which has cardamom and ginger, which are 2 of those oils there. And that is amazing. I remember once where I was really feeling nauseous and I took the Zengest, I literally just took the top off and smelt it. And I could immediately feel how the nausea just died down. And it was wonderful. So it really does work. We've got digest tabs for heartburn. I know these have some, if I'm not wrong, some carbonate ingredient, which is great for heartburn. And for the skin, I use Immortel, also called Salubel. And this is great because it's a roll-on and you can apply it all over when you feel that everything's stretching. And I can tell you everything starts to change from the moment you are pregnant, whether it's the tummy, whether it's the breast, whether it's your hips. And it's great because it's very easy to use. Just roll it on. And that has myrrh, frankincense, which is great for cell generation and for your skin to regenerate itself. I heard yesterday, Mum told me that she had consulted with a dermatologist what to do about stretch marks, and she just started her pregnancy. And the dermatologist told her, look, if you properly hydrate your skin, there's no reason why you should have any stretch marks at all. The problem is that you have 3 layers of your skin, and when these aren't hydrated, they stretch and they break, and that's where the skin has to regenerate itself and you have stretch marks. So there's some good news. Sometimes we thought that we couldn't get rid of stretch marks or deal with them. Yes, we can, but we need to do it in time. So not wait until the third trimester, but start from the beginning and constantly be hydrating. And that same person said it's actually every 40 minutes you should be dabbing oil on yourself. And she told her, well, look, as pregnant women, keep going to the bathroom every half an hour, every hour. Make sure you've got that bottle of oil. And this roll-on is very convenient. You can pop it into your pocket, pop it into your purse, and when you're in the bathroom and you're doing your stuff, you can always just dab on some oil and no one noticed. And there you go. So that's definitely my strategy at the moment. Now, I can tell you that sleep is so important when you're pregnant, because your body is giving every energy it has to your child's development. So when in the first trimester, felt I was very tired all the time, I would sleep. Now, I can tell you this Serenity capsules here on the right have been such a blessing to me, because I've been able to have much more quality sleep. Sometimes because you can't find the correct position, or you have nausea, or you actually have a headache, you can't get quality sleep. But with Serenity, it's wonderful because it has lavender, Roman chamomile, it's got L-theanine in it. So I'm gone. I take one of those capsules, half an hour before going to bed, and I wake up the next morning good as new. I will put Serenity on the bottom of my feet every night. I'll put it in the diffuser, and Balance in the morning to control stress. So these really are very practical solutions that can help us throughout our pregnancy. Now, emotionals are a great thing that we've been given, but with women's hormones and all the changes that we have, it can be difficult to get through the day with those mood changes. So here dōTERRA has created an emotional aromatherapy system. I can tell you from the list there, I have used Passion, which is usually great for increasing libido and giving people the extra help. Sometimes pregnant women don't feel like having intimacy, they feel weird, and Passion can be great for that. Motivate is wonderful. It has a very spicy notes to it, and it's great to feel empowered. Peace is very relaxing. I've heard Forgive. I haven't used it myself, but I've heard Forgive is great when you have, you're very sensitive, and sometimes people's attitudes around you can be hurting. So Forgive is great for that. Console. Well, if we are pregnant and fortunately things in life happen, we lose a close member in our family, Console is great to feel consoled. And Cheer is wonderful. It has those citrus notes which are so uplifting. So here we have a whole blend, a whole line to help us to deal with our emotions. Now, when the day finally arrives, here are some must-haves for that moment. So we combine Balance and Wild Orange, especially during delivery when you want to balance emotions and dispel anxious feelings. You can use black pepper and basil to dilute with coconut oil and place it on the lower back to ease discomfort during labor. And Aroma Touch blends, you can apply that topically, which helps you to soothe the mind, the body, especially helpful to soothe areas of tension and stress, like the back, the shoulders. Another oil I wouldn't go without is helichrysum. Now, helichrysum helped a woman when she tore when she was in labor, and her mother literally poured half a bottle of helichrysum, and she said it was literally like liquid stitches. She couldn't believe how right in front of her the tearing was healing itself. So helichrysum is a wonderful oil for that. Now, we talked a lot about Terrazyme in previous classes. It's very valuable for nursing mums and babies too. You can take one with every meal. The digestive enzymes will pass through the breast milk, allowing the baby to have a more settled tummy. I'm actually using Terrazyme already, although I'm just through my first semester, because when you use Terrazyme on an empty stomach, it will help to renew tissue. Terrazyme are like the little Pac-Man in your body. They will help with cell functions. They will help also with digestive issues. they'll go to the place that your body needs. And because your body is changing so much and it's creating new muscle tissue to stretch for the life that is growing inside of you, I'm taking up to 3, 4, 5 Terrazymes a day on an empty stomach and with food. It's no secret that many pregnant women deal and have to deal with constipation. So Terrazyme is great. In addition to Lifelong Vitality Pack, taking 4 capsules of each bottle, I've had no problem at all with constipation. It's been really a pleasure to ease past it. Here we've got on the right Copaiba. Now, Copaiba is actually from the family of the plant cannabis, but it doesn't have the hallucination effects. And this is great under the tongue 2 times a day to support and boost milk supply. So it's helpful to also calm anxiousness that you may feel as a new mum giving, breastfeeding your child. Here we have 2 very well-known oils, basil and fennel. Fennel's been used for years to help women nurse and have a good, healthy milk supply. I also heard from a friend of mine, geranium. She said she wasn't producing as much milk, even though this was her 4th child. And she just dabbed some geranium before going to bed. And the next morning she woke up with breast full of milk. And she thought, wow, because she was using, I think it was fennel, another oil that she wasn't getting very used to the smell. So she thought, oh, I'll try geranium. And she was surprised that it was as good as all the other oils. Now, peppermint is there as well. Peppermint actually decreases milk supply. Some women produce too much milk. So this can also be great. But remember to use it cautiously. Obviously, you want to apply the oils after or in between the times that you breastfeed, because the idea is that the child will not ingest the oil, but just that it would act internally to your breast, and then the breast will be cleansed and fully absorb the oil when you are ready to breastfeed. Okay, now talking about using less oil on small children. Now let's look at the symphony of the cells. So we want to help with other oils that we can use topically. We have this a process that we can do, symphony of the cells. We use a carrier oil. This can be coconut oil. And then we have a list there on the left: frankincense, melaleuca, massage the blend, and it's giving us the ideas of places. So behind the neck, smell it, apply it to the sole of our feet, and massage the blend, and also use peppermint. So it explains on the right how we can use this. You apply 1 oil at a time. A great place to apply this is the spine, all over the back. And this is a great way to bring relaxation and to bring a great sense of relief. So we're now at the end, nearly by the end. Now you've probably written down a bunch of new products that you want to try. So I want to make sure that you've heard of the Loyalty Rewards program. It's how I buy my products, and many of our friends and members too. It's a monthly wellness box that you can customize. You can put whatever products you want in them, so you never run out of essential oils or products that you love. Now, what's so great about the Loyalty Reward system? Well, it's the best way to get your products at the lowest price, and how you can get, in addition to that 25% discount you get as a member, you can get up to 30% off with product credits of your purchase. You start out, as you can see in the purple box, from 10% for the first 3 months, and dōTERRA will automatically upgrade you as the months go by up to 30%. And I've been at that 30% for a whole 2 years now. You can't imagine how many oils have I got for free just because I redeemed them with my product credits. I love to get frankincense with product credits, so I don't pay a single penny or cent for the more expensive oils, because I save up my credits and then redeem them. You can see on the box at the bottom roughly how it works. So the minimum to participate in this program is that you do 50 PV monthly orders. You can do bigger ones and you get additional benefits. If you start to recommend the products, when you do 100 PV a month, then you can get bonuses and commissions. If you do your order right now Today is the 7th of May, I believe. And you can get your free product of the month. Whatever your market you're in, there is a free oil only if you're part of the loyalty rewards program. And that oil will be given to you for free. It's an oil that doTERRA chooses. And many times they put oils in that are limited editions. You can't actually buy them. You can only get them for free if you're part of this program. And you do that by completing an order of 125 PV. Some months there are promotions of 200 PV where you get other free oils as well. So really you cannot lose. You get free products and you can also then accumulate your credits to redeem the products that you want for free. This is what a customized wellness box can look like with the products we discussed today. You can see there the kids oil collection. Now these prices on screen are a bit old, but they're roughly, they may vary in a couple of dollars, but you can see there the kids oil collection for $105. Then you can add on the PB Assist and the nutritional supplements. And for that kind of order, you will get the free oil of the month and the free credits, or you can add other oils, other suggestions on the right. If you want the touch kit, the emotional aromatherapy touch kit, or perhaps you need some more fractionated coconut oil. Now, how do you sign up? Well, my first advice would be speak to your wellness advocate, especially first time round, to make sure you do it properly. But here we've got some prompts on the screen and steps for you to easily do it. You choose a date every month, you add your products to your basket, and you can change them each month. Now, have you thought about someone who could benefit from what you've learned today? Well, I've given you several testimonies of people that shared them with me because they benefited with them and they shared them with me. Now, there are 3 ways to share in doTERRA. And one thing that sets doTERRA apart is that you can be a customer without any pressure to sell any oils or even starting a business. So that's the first way you can do it, is just a referral partnership. Just speak to your wellness advocate and tell them, you know what, I have a friend who wants to know more about the oils. And if that friend then signs up, your wellness advocate will give you a free oil in exchange to say thank you. The second option is, well, I would like to enroll them myself. I would like to be part of their journey just as someone helped me. And that's how you can earn extra income. The third option is to actually build a team. So if you think, well, do you know what? I want to empower people. I want to teach them about the oils and also for them to see these as great solutions to share with others. So in other words, duplicate the process. And that's how you can supplement or replace your income. So just going into this third option a bit more, these are the benefits that I have experienced personally when I have built a team. For those who don't know, when the pandemic began, I lost my job. And that's when, with Jodie, who was the person who taught a couple of weeks ago, she shared about the oils with me about 4 years before that. And she had told me, why don't you consider doing a business? And at that time, before the pandemic, I felt I didn't have any time for that until the pandemic started out. And then I thought I had, like many of us, right? We were closed up in our lockdown in our homes, and we had all the time in the world. And that's where I thought, well, yes. And the whole world was in a health crisis. And that was the best experience. And it still is. Every time I share about the oils, I feel that I'm bringing hope, that I'm meeting new people. You can travel, you can pay off debts. We, with our income every month, pay our rent, pay our bills. My husband has come on board to support me with the business. And we've both grown so much in personally, in leadership skills, presentation skills, communication skills, but we've also been able to have time freedom. And manage our own timetables and create this financial freedom. It's not like when you have an 8-to-5 job. It's it creates that flexibility, and you're creating a financial pipeline. You're earning money without having to be tied to a desk or to a timetable, and you're empowering others too. Now, this is the different ways that doTERRA pays you. You can speak to your wellness advocate to explain them in person, but you can get fast start bonuses, which are paid weekly, power of 3 bonuses, uni level, and then even at the bottom, you can see that there are unlimited income potential opportunities for leadership ranks further on too. All right, so we've come to the end. Oops, sorry, about our weekly lesson here. And this is our subject for next week, digestive health and detoxification. And this is an amazing class. We have to give you the final word. Yes, your final word is thinker. Write that down, thinker. So just the final slide, you may want to take a photo of this. How can you access more material? We have the copy of this presentation. We've got handouts. We've got a link to a replay of this lesson, not exactly this one, but one done by our American counterparts. And this is the website, presentingoils.com/week 5. Put in the password kids, and you'll be able to access all the information. So it's been a pleasure to share with you today. My name's Caroline Giraldo, and I hope you've enjoyed this.